Hello and welcome. I'm finally going to make a video on an F-104, and I'm only 2 major updates late. This particular F-104 is the F-104J of the Japanese tree, but you can use the tips in this video when flying all the other F-104s, except maybe the F-104S because its radar missiles do give it a bit of a different playstyle. Now, if you've ever flown an F-104 before, you'll know its crippling weakness. These things have a turn radius about the size of the moon. At a tier where most fighters are high angle of attack delta wing airframes, the Starfighter is kind of a black sheep with the exact opposite characteristics. Excellent energy retention during maneuvers, but extremely weak elevator authority. That means you're forced into a very difficult playstyle. Boom and zooming at supersonic speeds. Speed is life in all top tier jets, to be honest, but in the case of the Starfighter, speed is all you have. Except for the German F-104J, you don't even get countermeasures, so the only way to survive the missile meta is to outrun the missiles. Let's talk about the F-104J in particular. This one is at battle rating 10.3, which means most games you see in it are at top tier. It used to be only able to carry AIM-9Bs and AIM-9Es, but recently it got another loadout that lets it carry 4 AIM-9Ps, like the Mitsubishi F1. With AIM-9Ps, the F-104J is a deadly ambush predator, even at top tier. But that's not what this game is going to show. This game, I'm close to stock, carrying only 4 AIM-9Bs, but it's also a down tier, and in a down tier, the Starfighter's ludicrous speed really shines. Realistically, even with AIM-9Ps, it's extremely difficult to ace at top tier with an F-104, simply because of the slow boom and zoom style of combat that you have to adopt to survive. If your team does well, you won't be able to rack up 5 kills because your teammates are going to gobble everything up. And if your team does poorly, the F-104 really can't carry. As I said earlier, the only thing the Starfighter has going for it is its speed, but despite this, the 104J isn't quite fast enough to totally outrun everything, especially Phantoms and MiG-21s, which can out-accelerate you at most speeds. The F-104J can do up to around 1,300 km per hour on the deck, but getting there takes forever, so you can't just drag race your way to safety. In order to stay out of reach, you have to take advantage of your energy retention and force the enemies to turn enough that they bleed their speed and start lagging behind. When the people chasing you have AIM-9Js, R60s, and Matra Magics, sometimes you simply can't get enough separation to outrun the missiles. But in a down tier against 10G missiles, you can definitely stay well out of reach as long as you keep your speed above 1,000 km per hour. just like that. 4 down. That's the power of the F-104 against unsuspecting enemies. Now it's just a race to execute the final opponent, and the F-104 is fast. This was the only ace I've managed so far in the F-104J, so it's technically the best game I've played yet. But this wouldn't be a very good video if I didn't talk about the A9Ps. If you saw my video on the Mitsubishi F1, you've already seen them in action, but long story short, they let you take some insanely high angle deflection shots on enemies. If you can see even a sliver of afterburner flame, you can get a lock. With the F-104's crappy maneuverability, that's a game changer. Let me show you what I mean.